We said only a matter of days ago we're just waiting on a date now, and obviously everything's reasonably provisional at the moment, but 3rd of October will finally hopefully be underway.
Yeah, it's great news, isn't it, really? I think we've all been waiting for that date for the past 3 to 4 months. So, now we can start nailing things down and start looking forward to the new season, which is great all round.
I know you've had a chance to communicate with the players this week in terms of sending out information. How have they taken it?
Well, they're chuffed, obviously. They've been itching, really, and like I said in my previous interview, it's been about curbing their enthusiasm the last month because they're so eager and itchy to get out there. But likewise for me and Jimmy and the staff and the office staff as well. We all work for a football club. We've no football at the moment, and dying to get out there. And now we've got the date. It's all systems go.
Does it come a little bit later than what I wouldn't say I've hoped for, but had we perhaps visualised maybe starting a bit earlier, or is it?
Yeah, I think so, Matt. I think what it is, mate, when these rumours come out and the 12th of September was thrown about for a good 6 weeks, you actually believe it. But you can't believe anything that goes on nowadays, mate. And when it's got to close down and the lockdown and the quarantine's back on, it's just frightening out there. So you literally take everything with a pinch of salt. But it's good to know this is kind of half confirmation anyway, which is great.
Are you hoping it kind of brings to an end what has been probably the most surreal period, not just from a footballing point of view, that any of us will remember?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think normality is slowly getting back there.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people on the streets now, and the news is a lot more positive. And football started again, albeit without crowds. But the dates of crowds coming back is imminent.
And again, we have to keep stressing that nothing's 100% in concrete yet, just because the country's still in that sort of state of fluidity. But it's most likely pre-season won't see fans at Agbra, but hopefully the start of the season will, and that's great news too.
It is, and I think that's why they've delayed the start, really. Clubs at our level and below need fans. It's not viable otherwise. Pre-season, no, it's got to be a different year this year in terms of pre-season. It's got to be a different year all year round. But one thing they will get from our club is up-to-date stats and video footage, so there won't be a problem there with fans keeping up to date with us.
And the idea of starting a season with an FA Cup tie as well. I know further down in the divisions the FA Cup does often start the season, and sometimes a League Cup or what used to be, I don't know, the LDV Trophy or whatever it is, used to start a season, but it's a new challenge for us.
Yeah, it is, and it's something to look forward to. FA Cup's massive for clubs like us and teams at our level, and this year it's got to be our first game, so right back at it, as they say. But we're ready and prepared. We won't get the draw probably a couple of weeks till before, but the lads will come in end of August for the start of pre-season.
And cup football being as it is, to start the season with literally a must-win game, that must kind of raises the adrenaline.
Yeah, don't put too much pressure on me, Matt. You know what I mean?
As if the adrenaline needed raising, but you're going to start with a really exciting challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Saying that a league game would have been just as excited having 6 months off. So, like I said, the players are itching to get out there. I think the first pre-season game would be like a cup final to some of them, just because they haven't touched the ball in that long. But we've got to be right, and we've got to prepare right now. And now we've got this date, we can really start to get things sorted.
And from a staff point of view as well, you mentioned everyone at the club, but specifically you and Jim, I know, have been ready to kind of hit that start button for a while now. Are you going to be looking forward to getting on a touchline and really?
Of course, when I got the job back, God, it was, when was it now? End of April. It was. I was ready then. The enthusiasm to start was there. So to really have 3 months of lockdown while being a manager of a new football club was tough. But we've prepared and we've planned and we've used Zoom, and now we're back at it, and it's great to be back.
We mentioned about players and signings and all that kind of thing. Your phone certainly hasn't died down in the last few days, so that players and agents still very keen to come and be a part of things here. Yeah,
there seems to be a lot more agents than when I used to play, and a lot more players on the system. So we do our due diligence on all players. It's got to be the right fit for me and Jim and the club, and the right fit for what we've already got in.
We've talked a bit about the Boost the Budget campaign. It comes to a close in the next week or so. Already really sort of flown up to that 6,500 mark, a big increase the last couple of weeks. It'd be great if that could finish strong. When people have been generous, but again, if they can keep giving, it just makes a difference to your balance, I suppose.
No, it's great, and like I said before, it doesn't surprise me one bit. But we're going to need all of them, all their help this season, vocally, money wise, and just egging us and cheering us on. Really, we're all in it together at the end of the day. I'm a kiddie fan like everyone here, and we just want what's best for the club.
And we're stood in front of the north stand here. I know it's going to look a little bit different probably when supporters start to come back in, but to hear some good voice coming from this part of the ground especially, it's going to be magic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the day we all dream of, really, of getting football back with a bit of voice. So can't wait for that first game here at Agborough. Okay, it might be socially distanced, but at the end of the day, think about a year's time, it might be packed. So that's what we've got to dream of.